Yeah.
I also
Yeah.
started
Yeah,
exercising in
all them-
my
Mhm.
final year of university. Finally started using that £30 for the year gym, and I got very
Nice.
skinny. Let me tell you, my friends, it's not that worth it. It was. I look
It's
great.
so worth
Don't get
it.
me wrong, but I look great now. Being skinny didn't make me look great. I just look great. I'm a
Look
very,
alright.
I know that this is an audio medium, but I just want everybody here to know who's listening to this that I'm a deeply handsome man. Some have said the most handsome man on Overwatch. Yes, that person was me. Doesn't matter.
Your mic is glitching hugely, and I assume that's
Oh yeah, yours is going
a
now.
sort of
Maybe it's just
masculine.
me.
Your mic won't let you tell these lies about me being. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of BROverwatch. I am your friend, your pal, just your general buddy, Carl Anker. How you doing? How is everyone?
I'm alright. I am Jamie Drew. I am your pal, your buddy, but a better friend than Carl. This is how you see me. You think Carl's fine?
I'm Duncan Biker Brown. I am your darkest adversary, and I am here to wake you from your brightest dream. Yeah, everything's good, I suppose. In theory.
Hey, it's JP. Welcome to BROverwatch.
JP is straight to the point.
JP,
every
you
time.
have not been paying attention to how we've been doing these intros, have you?
No,
I enjoy
haven't.
it.
Sorry.
JP is playing a completely
I need
different game
stage.
to us still.
I need stage direction.
Oh, fuck
JP and Jamie
me.
are not the same people.
Yeah, we should really get that out of the way now. We are not the same people at all. JP is slightly taller.
Slightly.
Yeah, that is
would-
like an identikit comparison that you use for almost all people.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I
that
mean,
was me.
I mean, literally apart from that, me and JP are functionally identical, I think.
People do say that we have like very difficult to tell apart voices, which I find
Really?
odd.
That's deeply weird.
Well,
to me.
seeing as you're northern, I'm southern, JP has a slight American tinge, and Carl has a slight African tinge, which puts us all in very different ballparks. I would have thought,
Twang.
but I don't know. Twang,
You
is that the
think?
right way to put it?
Would you
Was
call
any
it
of that a
hella
good
racist?
descriptor?
I think
There's
Twang is a
a
bit more
certain-
American.
There's a certain
But
lilt
everyone,
to our voices.
everyone correctly identifies Carl as the most handsome, which is fair.
That's fair. I
That's
can't
a-
really argue with that,
there's
to be honest.
a certain wise richness. But
He does have a certain earthy wisdom to his voice and mannerisms and being. So we've been away for a while because we've had various technical issues and also idiot issues to do with us
Yeah,
being
scheduling
complete fucking morons. But we're back.
it's very
How's your
hard
month?
to get us all three in. It's very hard to get us all in the same room, but we're not even in the same room, so there's really no excuse.
Carl, tell me about your month. You had a good month.
How's my month?
Yeah.
Don't
it's alright.
don't do all of it. Just like key points.
Got a job offer, which I'm
Wait.
pretty happy about. That should hopefully, if I am sensible, that could take care of 2 or 3 of my problems for the rest of the year.
Yeah, that's
Very excited about that.
It's horrible.
They're
And I do
lost.
not like it. But I'm going to be in the newspaper for an incredibly weird, incredibly relevant reason, which I will try and wrap up in 60 seconds or more of description.
All right. Look, I'm timing. I'm gonna put a
because-
timer on the thing now.
That's a good idea. So a stupid thing I do when I am at weird crossroads in my life is agree to things that journalists or friends of journalists ask me to do with regards to dating. So someone said, who wants to do a dating thing? And I said, okay, sure, fine. And it turns out what we had to do was like 4 random guys had to pick an outfit for this writer, and then she picks her favorite outfit out of the 4. And then she writes an article about it, and then you go on a date with them. It is sort of mostly irrelevant to the whole thing. But
Time's
the
up, my friend.
weird thing about this is, one, that I won the thing. I'm going to keep doing it anyway. So I won that. That was nice. And I went on the fake date, which was also nice. But the weird
Cool.
detail is that this person... Well, this person... What? So this person... like had to leave the country for a week because she's starring as Tracer from Overwatch in a short film in Germany, purely because someone on the internet said she'd be a good Tracer, and she showed me
That's
footage
cool.
from the thing, It looks really good. It's extremely high profile. I can't.
Oh,
So she's
to
the
get it
tracer?
not. She's a tracer apparently. She's like a
That's
sort of,
what the photo was.
yeah.
yeah,
So she,
Duncan
she
just
starts-
dropped something in there and no context into the chat.
She was
hell yes, we
sending me
got
pictures
Oh yeah,
three
of
you've
her.
got
guys.
another group chat separate from me because I'm mean.
Because yeah, Carl,
No, it was in the
Carl
same one,
refuses
I
to
think.
slack it up.
But,
Was that even in Slack?
yeah.
Or was it on the
They,
other chat channel we have?
Oh, who knows?
This is
Like, we just
this is
talk all the
a
time.
fruitless conversation.
Yeah,
Don't
we're
bring
just
up the Slack,
burning
it's
through
pointless.
your 60 seconds.
We're literally burning through Carl's time. Yeah, so they're apparently making some sort of Overwatch short film, and someone I went on a fake date with is going to be Tracer. I did bring up the fact that canonically Tracer is gay in the date, and it went down very well. But I had to pretend I didn't really know what Overwatch was because that's lame.
Because yeah, obvious.
Because I
Yeah,
don't
that's
know.
fair.
It's not sexy to know what Overwatch is, but it is funny to pretend that your friend told you that Tracer is canonically gay.
I don't really have any specific complaints. Like, that's all I can really ask for in life, I think.
Do you need specific complaints? You could.
Yeah,
I mean,
I do. I'm from the north.
I've known you
That's
to.
all we can do.
That was a weird. Why did you say that in a sex voice?
It's the only voice I have.
No, Jamie, I hate this. Jamie, ask someone else how that month was. Jamie, we don't have enough time for that.
Yeah, we do. This is all the time we have in the world. JP, how was your break from BROverwatch? How have you been without us?
I've been okay, I guess. You know, missing y'all, but it's been fine. It's been fine. Just been chilling out. Going to some making the most of the end of the summer. Going to some exhibitions and seeing some gigs and seeing some friends and that kind of stuff. And now
What did you see that was
back
good?
to BROverwatch.
I saw the Gregory
Congratulations.
Crewdson exhibition this summer, and I was very, very happy with it because I love Gregory Crewdson.
Excellent. Excellent.
I didn't.
Um,
I didn't. This is my segue. I'm working to a segue. I didn't learn from anybody about Gregory Crewdson. No, I did. I actually did. My friend told me. So our topic this week is all around how was your school days, basically. Carl, you went to an all-boys school, so it was going to be weird and psychosexual. We're going to push through that, and just kind of, in a more general sense, as a mentally ill man, how was your school days?
Yeah. They were weird. They were very weird. I guess, like, for the longest time, I did not think of the things that were happening to me as, like, depression or whatever was happening in the normal sense. I thought I was just, like... I think I either thought of it as very theatrical OTT world-ending depression, or I was just like, I'm just being a silly kid, or I'm sad because a girl doesn't like me. Even though consistently they did, which was weird. I was like this horrible cliche in that I was constantly miserable about girls, but also always in relationships, which is just the worst, most
That sounds
pathetic thing to be.
It was
about
so
right, I will
annoying.
say.
For the love of God.
It was the
I
most
love you,
annoying
but It
thing.
was so annoying. Phase.
Oh.
God.
I
Oh,
haven't seen
I
a
mean,
boob for 3 weeks. Yeah, what have
That
you done?
was
was you.
recent.
That's what you sounded like. Oh, I shouldn't be dating, but
That's-
I'm on Tinder.
Oh no!
Oh,
I'm
no.
Duncan Viker
That was-
Brown.
For me, I mean, I think school was fine, but also, I don't know, for some reason recently I've kind of had some weird flashes back to my school days, and I'm just like, yeah, that was weird.
When you say you didn't
everything
understand the
that-
things that were happening to you, what were those things that were happening to you? Like,
Wait, what?
so you
That's
said you
not
didn't.
something I said.
It sort of is. Look, I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember what you said because I wasn't listening. I don't know how to do air quotes in an audio medium.
That's fine.
You said you were having issues. You suggested that you were having issues, and you know whatever words you used. Who gives
Oh
a
yeah,
shit?
yeah. Sure.
What kind of issues we're talking about here? Are they similar to what you have
Just
going on today?
general sort of weird moods. No, nothing like today. It was much more like garden variety. Well, it was more just like. This is the thing is, I assumed it was like regular
This is
teenage
troublesome.
nonsense. So what? it wasn't so much that it was a problem at the time. It was more that it led to me not getting stuff checked out when I was older. That was the main issue. Like, I don't think anything I actually went through at school was particularly bad. It was more just like when I got older, I was like, oh, I'm just like a immature child or something. So I'm not actually sad. I'm just like not developing.
Okay, so this is why I want to talk about school. Like, first of all, because this stuff happens. This stuff absolutely does happen. Apparently, an estimated 1 out of 10 kids have some kind of mental health problem, and as we all know, mental health stuff does kind of have roots in childhood. As one might expect, reasonably. So I just kind of wondered how that scans for you guys, because I don't really remember my school days particularly well for various reasons, but I just kind of wondered how things progressed, basically, for you guys. Like, if things were different, if you feel like you were ever taken seriously.
Did they progress? I said, man, I didn't really have anything to add.
Oh, the Duncan story.
So,
I feel like Duncan's taking a
good
beating.
friend and mental health writer, pal Emily Reynolds, wrote a great piece in The Guardian a couple of years at the start of the year about how Britain constantly fails young people with mental health. And in amongst it, she said that young people growing up in Great Britain have the second worst quality of living in the world. I think behind Japan for young people in developed nations as it is. Part of that is to do with essentially how much pressure we put on young people. So Japan is well known for their extreme views on test taking. In Great Britain, it can take between 10 years between the early onset of and eventual diagnosis of mental health problem. And I got my diagnosis of depression and general anxiety at the age of 25, and it kind of makes sense. When I ticked off when I did the big form of, do you have this? Do you avoid social situations for fear of being embarrassed? Do you spend many days where you sleep too much or sleep too little? Do you have many days where you feel as if you're worthless or a disappointment to your family? I'm like, yeah. I mean, I felt that for a decade. It's kind of relieving.
But there was definitely
out, like
Yeah.
I think there's definitely a point where you're just sort of told to feel like that's normal. I think of a specific example of someone who I'm friends with who had a huge amount of problems at school because her teacher's way of dealing with her onset mental illness was to sort of force her to confront it or force her into situations where she just had to deal with it. So, for instance, she hated doing sports because of massive social anxiety, and so they would force her to like go out there and be the one who picked team and stuff like that.
So I don't think there's any education around this as well. So even when you are a bit older, you don't quite understand what's going on. And I'm sure I've touched on my thing beforehand, because I feel there's a discrete time in my life that things started to come to a head, and that was while I was in it was in university, but it was my postgrad, so I was in my mid-20s by this point, where I just I had the same thing of like, oh, it's just stress, everybody else is feeling stress, I will be fine, but it just turns out that I was having a 2-year panic attack, which isn't normal, apparently, which I still don't understand.
Very long.
Yeah, it's a long time to be constantly feeling very, very bad. And apparently that's not fine. But even then, like, I only got diagnosed with dyspraxia when I was about 23 years old or something. Like, again, my postgrad kind of time, because there's no education around this kind of stuff. And I think this is an important thing that, if you're younger especially, it might be time to think about how we need to educate people.
I do feel sorry for teachers, because so many things that work well for one student can be the complete wrong thing for others. So I'm
for sure
big old sport background guy. I'm play sport and get dirty and muck in and do whatever. And I once had I'm a nerd jock. I had an old boss once go up to me when I was going through a slump like this. Again, I didn't know I was going through it. He probably did, because he has experience with this stuff as well. And he went up to me and goes, be honest with me, Carl. Are you the type of person that appreciates an arm around the shoulder, or are you the type of person that responds well to a kick up the ass. And he said, to be honest, mate, I could really do with an arm around the shoulder right now. He goes, nah, I'm going to kick you up the ass. And he looked me dead in the eye. He says, because you said you need an arm around, so I'm going to give you kick up the ass. And I said, why? He goes, you'd be surprised how many times. He goes, no one ever says they want to kick up the ass. And he goes, you'd be surprised how many times where you are in a state like this, where you think you want an arm around the shoulder, but what you really need is to kick up the ass. You need someone to just grab you and go, no, you're not going to stay in bed today. You are going to go hiking, or you are going to go do that brunch. And I responded well to that thing. When I tried a similar technique to someone else, oh, howdy. That did not go well.
So did things get better for you guys in university with this kind of stuff? It's just like a natural thing of aging.
It got worse.
I have no idea.
It got worse for me
There we go.
because my university was very hands-off compared to how my school was.
Jamie, both you and I first sought therapy or went to therapy at uni.
I was made
what was
to go
the
to
catalyst
therapy.
for that?
I was made to go to
Oh,
therapy.
okay. Well, that's
I
the
was made to go to a
tell me
counselor
about what
named
happened.
David. So the whole story here is that is my final placement in my postgraduate course. I trained as a speech therapist and various other things. It wasn't really for me. I did not enjoy it at all. And part of me does go, do I just not enjoy going to university? Do I not enjoy being sitting down in front of a man reading from a PowerPoint? I don't know. So my final clinical placement, I was in a hospital. I was doing this really routine test, and about halfway through, I started feeling like I was swimming in my head, and I forgot how to read, which was very interesting. So I was in a hospital at the time, and my advisor kind of said, okay, well, down to A&E you go, I guess. This could be a heart attack, who knows? And I went through a lot of things with this doctor who asked me if I had been smoking the wacky backy, and because I was at work, and also, if you're listening, Mum, because it's true, I said no. And it just kind of culminated in all this stuff, and I had to leave until I got some therapy, and then when I got back, the new Tory government had got in and kind of started slashing the NHS, so there was no one left to train me, and that's why I'm not a speech therapist now, apart from the other reasons I mentioned, because I fucking hated it. I didn't fucking hate it. It was a very good job. It was a very good job, and you should go into it. It pays pretty well, too. I literally had to go to therapy. A man called David every week. And basically just went in there like a man, basically. Went in like a man, really stoic. And I was like, I'm not going to cry. And then I just cried. I cried for about an hour a week. And then I took it all home. I was like, this is what this is like now. And to my girlfriend and housemate at the time, this is what this is now. Please enjoy this flood of tears that's going to come out my face every day now. And that's largely because...
That was gentle.
Yeah, it's real gentle. It's a real gentle time in my life. I decided to go to therapy. No, it was fucking horrible. Of course it was horrible. I had a breakdown. I had a literal mental break. It wasn't fun. But I didn't know that was happening to me. I thought I was just stressed. Because the postgrad course I was on was very... okay, I don't want to be I've been trying to find a way all through this to say this without sounding like a total dick. My postgrad was very, very intense. But... I've been trying to find a way to say without sounding like a total dick. It's the first time in my academic life I'd struggled. Because I was one of those kids, and I'm sure this is probably all of us, and probably a lot of people that you know are or were gifted kids, and I was definitely one of those gifted kids. Special classes, special exams, everything like that, a ludicrous IQ test every other week, which I didn't pass because you can read fast. That counts. It's just all that stuff. And if you're told... for a long time you're a success, no matter what you do, it is going to be fine. It is not, because being a gifted kid means fucking nothing, it turns out. So for the first time in my life I was struggling, and I thought it was just that. I thought it was just everybody else here is super stressed, everybody else is under the same stresses that I am, and so I contextualized this heart-pounding, head-ruining, game-changing anxiety as just, well, this is normal, this is fine. And it wasn't. And I think that's kind of emblematic of... emblematic? Is that not a word? That's not a word. I think this is kind of...
endemic
in our...
Winston will not let me live!
It's fine, I got you, my friend. I got you, my pal, my dude.
I sympathize hugely with that, because that was a major reason why I did so badly at uni. is I kind of feel very weird about the fact that your first year essentially doesn't count.
Oh God, no.
Because
Forget everything you learned.
I did no fucking work, and I got a terrible grade in my first year, and I was like, oh, this is because I haven't done any work, and it's not because it's hard or anything. So I didn't really pay attention to the fact that I sucked at my degree until about halfway through second year, by which point it was drastically too late. And I tried to like change a load of stuff, and they were just like, absolutely not.
I literally failed my second
So I
year
did
of
not
undergrad.
change.
Like, I know I just
so
said stuff that's very contradictory to that, but it's true. Like, I failed my second year of my undergrad, and I have no idea how I convinced them to let me stay on.
Did I fail it? I'm
I
actually
literally
not sure if I
failed
failed it. I failed
this is
about
the
half
thing-
of it.
This is a thing that my family, if they listen to this, are finding out for the first time. I was literally thrown out of university in my second year. I was gone.
Oh, and they let you back in?
Yeah, I don't know how I managed it. Basically, it was due to other stuff that's going on. Probably. Or just because I was fucking lazy, to be honest with you. Lazy as shit. Because I didn't have to. At school, I didn't have to do anything. Because, again, gifted kid. And again, I continued to do fucking nothing. I came up with a 2-1. No idea. No idea how.
There was an exam that I literally wrote an apology on the paper and walked out. It was so bad.
Pretty much for that kind of reason, I'm kind of glad that my university course was all coursework. Like,
What the fuck course
I
was
had
this?
no exams, and that also kind of let me just coast through as well. Anyway, like I coasted through. I coasted through with a 2-1, and
Hey!
and I can literally probably tell you that a lot of stuff that I did and apparently learned was pretty much useless.
It's basically partly because of how badly my second year went, and partly for other reasons. Started doing things like trying to do entire essays in one night, and drinking 2 cans of Red Bull and taking some Pro Plus, and having heart palpitations. But yeah, so I blacked out in a library, and the next day the doctor said, he said either drop out or take a year out, or you're doing drugs and not telling me about it. Which the first thing was the smart. Basically, what he was trying to say was that my course was stressing me out too much to be healthy, and I did not listen to him for a further year.
A few good things happened in the break, though, that we'd like to talk about. First of all, we got a theme song now by Fight Milk. I don't think you can.
Theme song.
It's very good. I might, who knows what I'm doing in the edit bay right now. I might be feeding it in right now. We were also featured.
Jamie,
we will
naked, pass it on.
I will be entirely naked. Please don't get that image out your head. We were also, or will be, featured in a zine by the charity Calm, which was very good. I wrote a thing. Thank you, Carl, for editing it to make it better and getting rid of some dick jokes, of which there were at least 13, and now there's only 7. I would also like to give a shout out to my friend Stephen Newman, who's running a marathon for Calm. It might not be a marathon. I don't know what it is. Look, I can't remember. He's doing something. I'm going to leave a little link if people want to sponsor that, because it's a charity we're vaguely affiliated with now, if that's alright with you guys. We will be back on a proper schedule in a couple of weeks. We're very sorry. We're idiots. It's difficult to get everybody in a room.
We've been thinking about it
also,
properly this time.
We've been thinking about it
We're
properly
idiots,
this time.
but we're trying to be better.
We're trying to be better. Who have we been?
This has been Carl Anchor, aka Anchorman616 on Twitter.
I am Duncan Bycat Brown. I am not on Twitter, but you can find me there at Let's BROverwatch, where I will post some extra clips from the show, some fun behind-the-scene details, and also some other cool stuff by people that we like, and other interesting things about mental health and such and such. It's a good time.
I've been JP at John Partridge. Still Xboxless, but you can find me on the Twitch streaming some kind of weird video game on the PlayStation.
Boo.
I'm a heathen, sorry. I'll be back on the Xbox as soon as possible, so I can show these guys how it's done on Overwatch.
And I've been Jamie Drew. You can find me on Twitter at HeyJamieDrew. Also Instagram. I use Instagram quite a bit. I hate it, but here we are. This has been BROverwatch. I'm enjoying doing BROverwatch.
Right.
It's very good.
It's good.
I hate when it's...
Yeah, he dies.
It does, but that assumes that you're good at the game.